Welcome Arithmetic Ninjas to dividing a 4-digit number by a 2-digit number using the chunking method. And this time we're going to get some remainders. Now, first thing to do with the chunking method is start by making some chunks. So we always do the same chunks. We do 1 lot, 10 lots, 100 lots, 2 lots, 20 lots, 200 lots, and 5 lots. If you practice doing that and do the same chunks every time, you'll get it right. Now, we're dealing with chunks of 23 because that's what we're dividing by. So we want 1 23, 10 23s, 100 23s, 2 23s, 20 23s, 200 23s, and 5 23s. Now we need to obviously work out what those chunks are. 1 23 is 23, 10 23s is 230, 100 23s is 2,300, 2 23s is 46, 20 23s is 460, 223s is 10 times bigger again, so 4,600. And 5 23s is half of 10 23s. Well, 10 23s is 230. Half of that is 115. All we need to do now is subtract as many chunks as we can until we get as low as we can. If we can't get down to 0, then whatever's left must be our remainder. What this means will become clear as we do more of the video. So we're just going to start by writing out the question. So 23 into 2,580. And we're going to subtract the biggest chunk that we can. Well, the biggest chunk that we can subtract is this 2,300 here. So we're going to subtract 2,300. But at the side, we're just going to make a note of what chunk of 23s that actually is. That's 100 23s. So you pop a little times 100 at the side, just to remind yourself how many 23s you've taken away. So 0 take away 0 is 0. 8 take away 0 is 8. 5 take away 3 is 2. 2 take away 2 is nothing. So we're down to 280. Let's go back to our list of chunks again. Now the next biggest number we can subtract is this 230. So let's take away 230. See how low that takes us. And that, don't forget, is a chunk of 10 23s. So you pop a little times 10 at the side. And let's see where we get with that one. 0 take away 0 is 0. 8 take away 3 is 5. 2 take away 2 is nothing. So we're down as low as 50. Now if we go back to our chunk of 23s again, the next biggest number we can take away is 46. So let's take away that 46. And just a reminder that 46 is a chunk of 2 23s, so pop a little times 2 at the side and take it away. 0 take away 6 you can't do, so borrow. 10 take away 6 is 4, and 4 take away 4 is nothing. So we're down to 4. Now, obviously, we cannot take, that's as far as we can go. We can't take any more 23s off there because we've only got 4 left. So to cut a long story short, all we do now is add up our chunks. We've got a chunk of 100, plus a chunk of 10, plus a chunk of 2. 100 plus 10 plus 2 is 112. So the answer to our question, 2,580 divided by 23, is 112. But we do have this remainder of 4. So we need to put a remainder of 4. But because we're dividing by 23, that remainder would also be divided by 23, which makes our answer 112 and 4 23rds. Question number 2. So we're going to do exactly the same method again. So let's start with our list of chunks. We will have 1 lot, 10 lots, 100 lots, 2 lots, 20 lots, 200 lots, and 5 lots. This time we're dealing with chunks of 32. So it's 1 32, 10 32s, 100 32s, 2 32s, 20 32s, 200 32s, 5 32s. Let's work out what those chunks actually are. 1 32 is 32, 10 32s is 320, 100 32s is 3,200, 2 32s is 64, 20 32s is 640, 200 32s is 6,400, 5 32s is a half of 320. Well, a half of 300 is 150 and a half of 20 is 10. Put them together makes 150 and 10, that's 160. Now we're ready to start subtracting some chunks. So you write the question out. 32s into 3,429. And the biggest chunk we can take away so far is this 3,200. So let's take away 3,200. That, though, is a chunk of 100. So let's pop a little times 100 at the side. And let's work that out. 9 take away 0 is 9. 2 take away 0 is 2. 4 take away 2 is 2. 3 take away 3 is nothing. So we're down to 229. The next biggest chunk we can take away is going to be this 160. So let's take away 160. And that is going to be a chunk of 532. So pop a little times 5 at the side. And let's work that out. 9 take away 0 is 9. 2 take away 6 we can't do. So borrow. 2 becomes a 1. And the 1 we borrowed makes that into 12. 12 take away 6 is 6. And 1 take away 1 is nothing. So we're down to 69. Now if we check again, the next biggest number we can take away is a 64. So we're going to take away 64. You can see where this is leading probably. That 64 is a chunk of 232. So pop a little times 2 at the side. And obviously what's going to happen now is that 69 take away 64 is going to leave you with just 5. And we can't take any more 32s off just 5. So we're basically finished. We just need to add up our chunks. 100, a chunk of 100 plus a chunk of 5 plus a chunk of 2 is going to give us 107. So the final answer to our question is 107, but there is a remainder of this 5 here, so that's remainder 5. And because we are dividing by 32, the remainder is also divided by 32. So the final answer is 107 and 5/32. Question 12. We're now dealing with chunks of 31. So let's write out the same chunks again. 1 lot, 10 lots, 100 lots, 2 lots, 20 lots, 200 lots, and 5 lots. Obviously, we're dealing with chunks of 31, so it's 1 lot of 31 times 31, 100 times 31, 2 times 31, 20 times 31, 200 times 31, 5 times 31. Let's work those out. 1 times 31 is 31. 10 31s is 310. 100 31s is 3,100. 2 31s is 62. 20 31s would be 620. 200 31s would be 6,200. 5 31s would be half of 10 31s. Half of 310 is going to be 155. Now we've got our chunks, we're ready to start subtracting. So write out your question. 31s into 6,549. And let's start looking for the biggest chunk to subtract. Well, the biggest chunk we can subtract so far is 6,200. So let's take away 6,200. That is a chunk of 231s. So pop a little times 200 at the side, just to remind you that that's what you've taken away. And let's work out what we've got so far. 9 take away nothing is 9. 4 take away nothing is 4. 5 take away 2 is 3. 6 take away 6 is nothing. So we're down to 349. Now the next biggest chunk we can take away is going to be this 310. So let's take away 310. Remember to make a note of what chunk that is. That's a chunk of 10 31s. So you pop a little times 10 at the side. And let's take it away. So we have got 9 take away nothing is 9. 4 take away 1 is 3. 3 take away 3 is nothing. So we're down to 39. Now we're almost there. We can now take away 1 lot of 31, which is 31. So take away 31. That is going to be a chunk of 1 lot of 31. So put a little times 1 at the side. And obviously you can do the next bit in your head. 39 take away 31 is going to leave you with just 8. So now we've got a remainder of 8. We can't take any more away from that. So it's time to count up our chunks. We've got a chunk of 200 plus 10 plus 1. That all adds up to 211. So our final answer is 211. But there is this 8 is a remainder, so it's remainder 8. And because we're dividing by 31, that 8 is also divided by 31. So your final answer is 211 and 8/31. Question 14, we're dealing with chunks of 18. So we'll do the same chunks again. We'll have 1 lot, 10 lots, 100 lots, 2 lots, 20 lots, 200 lots, and 5 lots. But this time it's chunks of 18, so we want 1 times 18, 10 18s, 100 18s, 2 18s, 20 18s, 200 18s, 5 18s. Let's work those out. 1 times 18 is 18, 10 18s is 180, 100 18s is 1,800, 2 18s, double 18 is 36, 20 18s would be 360, 200 18s would be 3,600, and 5 18s would be half of 180. Well, half of 180 is 90. Now we're ready to start subtracting our chunks. So 18s into 5,497. Well, the biggest number we can take away is going to be this 3,600. So let's take away 3,600 and see how low that is going to get as well. 3,600 is a chunk of 200 18s. So pop a little times 200 at the side just to remind you. And let's see where we go next. 7 take away nothing is 7. 9 take away nothing is 9. 4 take away 6 we can't do, so borrow. Borrow from the 5 becomes 4. And the one we borrowed makes the 4 into 14. 14 take 6 is 8. 4 take away 3 is 1. So we're down to 1,897. Now the next biggest chunk we can take away is 1,800. So let's take away 1,800. Let's do exactly that. 1,800 is a chunk of 118. So we need to pop a little times 100 at the side. And let's work out what we've got next. So 7 take away nothing is 7, 9 take away nothing is 9, 8 take away is 0, 1 take away 1 is 0. So we're down to just 97. Now, if you check your list of chunks, you will realise that the next biggest one is 90. So let's take away 90. We're nearly there. That, don't forget, is a chunk of 5/18, so pop a little times 5 at the side. And 97 take away 90, you can do that in your head. That's just going to be 7. So there's 7 left. We can't go any lower than that. So it's time to add up our chunks. We've got a chunk of 200, plus a chunk of 100, plus a chunk of 5. Well, 200 and 105 is going to be 305. So our answer is 305, but there is a remainder. This 7 is a remainder of 7. And because we're divided by 18, our remainder is divided by 18 as well, which leaves a final answer of 305 and 7/18. Now we've had a go at a few questions ourselves, it's time for you to have a go. Good luck.